So I think it might be fun for a few days to do a little bit of daily vlogging and just talk about what's going on because, I don't know, I've done it in a while. So here's what the schedule I've been on recently. I've been trying to become a morning person, and for me, a morning person means 6:30 a.m. I'm out of bed. I know a lot of you are probably just like, oh, I have kids and I'm awake at 5 in the morning. Well, I don't have kids. And typically, I'm like a nighttime person. You know, that's been when I've been most productive historically. And then the counterpoint people say is, oh, well, why don't you just listen to your body and work when you're comfortable? And the reason I can't do that is because if I want to work with other people, I have to be awake the hours they're awake. If I'm working with somebody who starts work at 7 a.m., I have to be online at 7 a.m. to show him that I'm invested in the system I'm trying to sell him on. That probably doesn't make a lot of sense to you, but I'm onboarding people onto software and they're using it and I'm training them up, but I have to have them consistently buying into it. Otherwise, they're not gonna do it. And so one of the ways that I'm having people see, you know, a signal that I have bought in completely to this new software is by being available on it, you know, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, which means I have to be online from 7 a.m. until like 4:30 p.m. And that can be my phone, but I have to be awake and I have to be responsive. And so because of that, I have to start my day earlier. And it's just, you know, it's not hard to do. It's just a few weeks of discomfort. So anyways, I've been up for like 10 hours now, put in the hours for the day. I'm going to go and do a Goodwill just to kind of like take a break and decompress from doing other work all day, and then go to my warehouse and ship out some postcards and stuff. And I'll talk about the program I've written because I've listed like almost 11,000 postcards in the past month, which is pretty good for eBay to have 11,000 in a month, especially because I had 0 the month before. Okay, so I went in there, walked around for a few minutes. There was one good thing. Someone donated about 35 Raydun mugs and some other Raydun stuff. I didn't buy it. Why didn't I buy it? Because I'm walking around doing the math in my head, and I think it's going to take about 4 hours to list and ship all those. And the way I would sell them, I'd do them on auction because I don't want to take up that much space in my warehouse with Raydun mugs. They're not really that popular anymore. So probably they were going for $4 in store. You're probably going to make about $3 or $4 per mug profit after fees and everything. Now, taking into account, you're probably going to have multiple buyers. So you're going to be combining shipping, which is great for the money aspect, but bad for the shipping aspect because I don't have boxes for that. It ended up being where like I would probably make about $60 and it would take like 4 hours of work, maybe $100. And you couldn't pay me $100 to list Raydun mugs and ship Raydun mugs and handle questions about Raydun mugs for 4 hours. Just not what that's not the kind of job I would do for $25 an hour. And that's kind of how I think about resale, and I think you should too. So I was in there for like 10 minutes. I'm going to go to Salvation Army, look for some books because I do like selling books. And we'll go from there. That was significantly better. I'm really not trying to spend a lot of time. So I went just to the books, went through the bookshelf. I've been coming to this thrift store once every 2 weeks. And I'm only getting books without barcodes. So really I'm just relying on my knowledge of what books look valuable or have traits of, you know, other books, high dollar value books I've sold before. And everything I got today should be lower end 25, upper end maybe $100. I got a 5-set Encyclopedia of Africa. That's on Amazon for $120, but the sales rank's like 8 million. There's no sets for sale on eBay, so I'm gonna put it at like 75, I think. All the other old books, a lot of them are old religious adjacent books with no other competitors. So I'll put those, depending on how big they are. That seems to be like the biggest indicator of quality in an old religious book, how thick it is, between like 25 and $80. The coolest one, I mean, not cool, but I think it's the coolest. Obviously, you're going to have your own interpretations of this. arena. It's like a history of the Federal Theater. And I don't know what that is, but the fact that there was a Federal Theater at all has, piqued my interest. There's one for sale on eBay for $495. I think it's a signed book. I don't really even remember. I'll pull up the active listing right now and show you guys. But if I can get $100 for that, if I can get $80 for that, I paid for all these books like $5.78, something really, really cheap. So if one book sells for what I think it should sell for, if the Bibles I get or the religious adjacent texts I get sell, if any of them sell, I've more than broken even. And books are very easy to ship. So I like things that are easy. Okay, now back to my warehouse because I've got some postcards and some video games shipped. I got to my warehouse and I just sat in my car for about 40 minutes watching Instagram videos because I am just exhausted. So I'll have a 1 cup of coffee. Two things give me energy when I've been getting up so early. I've been on like a 6:30 until like midnight schedule, and then go to bed. So probably 6 hours sleep a night, which again, that should be enough. But if my diet falls apart or if I don't exercise, then I just become exhausted near the end of the day. Like I was sick yesterday, really sick. So all I had for dinner was just like noodles and beef broth because I was like, oh, my stomach is not doing too hot. And today, dead all day. It's 4:45. I don't know. It's the afternoon. And I only have to do ship out 10 or 15 things, and photograph these books that I've got right here. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I have to think about it. Okay, so I was packing postcards. This is how I do it. I just have, this is my order screen, way zoomed in. And then I've only got about 10,000 listed, and so they're on this rack. This is gonna be improved, don't worry. But tonight, after I pick these postcards and ship it off and take the pictures, I'm going to continue building out my website. Whoops, that's the back end to it, whatever, that's fine. We'll just go to the front end. This is paperephemeras.com. And what I'm doing is, I've written a program. I'm actually going to swap around the camera to explain this. I've written a program that takes the scans of the photographs that I manually do, uploads them to a Google Cloud storage bucket. They're called buckets. Then those URLs where the photos are stored are pulled into a spreadsheet, and I use software AI and image stuff to pull the words off of the postcard. So you see how there's words back there. That one says, it's in French, talking about this castle. Pulls those words and puts them into a description and a title for eBay in CSV format. Then I upload those to eBay. That's how I can list. I've listed 11,000 and some in the past 29 days. But then here's where it gets better. I take those same descriptions, images, and title and reformat them into the same CSV upload format that works with WordPress, which is a blog content management system. And then I'm double dipping. And then what I really am going to start doing is making another YouTube channel where I just show the postcards that I sell, and then I'm triple dipping on postcards. And so I'm paying about 10 cents per postcard. I just bought a whole bunch the past few days, so I think I'm negative $400 or $500, and I'll have over 15,000 listed by the end of, hopefully by the end of the weekend. And then I'm done buying for February, and I hope that by the end of February, I'm broken. I have broken even, and then I can just use the money that I'm making off that first month and a half sales to continually fuel the business. I don't know. It's exciting. It's fun. It's been a creative way to learn other ways to program, and it's certainly bled over into other business stuff in terms of thinking about things programmatically and what information should be stored and what information can be utilized for multiple purposes. And so that's what I'll do. I'm going to update that. I think I've got about 2,000 blog posts up so far. I just submitted the sitemap to Google. So hopefully we start getting some organic traffic in the next few weeks.